Hello, everyone. Welcome. The records are now open. It is the 924 episode of Akashic Answers with Emily, and you're here joining me live. What's up? Say hi to me in the comments. Let me know who is here with me. And here's what you can expect as we jam together for the next hour-ish. Here together, I am going to open up the Akashic Records. Actually, I've already opened up the Akashic Records. That's why I start every show saying the records are now open. And we are going to play together, train together, activate our consciousness together here inside the sacred classroom. Today, yes, this live broadcast, it's more than just a live broadcast, y'all. This is a sacred classroom. So here's the deal with the Akashic Records. If you're new, what's up, Regina Callum? Regina's not new. Say hi to me once you get here, guys. So here's the deal with the Akashic Records. If you don't know, now you know. The Akashic Records are the realm of consciousness that hold all intelligence, past, present, all possible futures, and is recorded from a neutral perspective. We can tap into this library of information and get answers to any single question that we ask at a moment's notice. All right. So when it comes to figuring out what the heck is going on in our world, in our lives, the Akashic Records break it down. They reveal what is unseen. Dupree, I'm glad that you're here. And here's the cool thing that I discovered back in 2015 when I learned how to read my own records. It's actually not rocket science. Every single human on the planet has the ability to tap in to this realm of consciousness and get instantaneous wisdom, guidance, and clarity about anything that you're experiencing in your life. Okay, humans, we are designed to self-heal, whether that is physical healing. I mean, that's what most of us think about when we think of healing, is healing disease in our body. But what about disease in your mind? What about disease in your emotions? What about dis-ease in our relationships, important relationships, like our relationships with our families, our relationships with money? Right? So this idea of being able to tap in and see what is unseen is super important, because here's another powerful truth, is that everything that you're experiencing in your life, you're creating. Everything that I'm experiencing in my life, I am creating. My soul agreed to. And some of the things I'm like, WTF. Like that's what my human says. I don't know if I agreed to this. Anybody look around the planet and say, what the heck am I doing here? If you are asking yourself that existential question, I'm glad you're here, because you're fulfilling a grand purpose. We all are. Every single human who is on the planet right now. Hello, I see you. We are playing out our roles during a very exciting time of evolution, of freedom. I talk about, you look at the outside world, it's breaking down. Our leadership structures are breaking down. So what's being invited is self-leadership. And that's what the Akashic Records do. I mean, ultimately, like when you can tap in and you can get an oracle wisdom from your own soul that tells you, okay, here's the thing. The records don't tell you what to do. They invite you to consider. You get to make your own decisions. Okay. But the records will fill in the gap and allow us to have more wisdom, guidance, and clarity and understanding what's happening. Because here's the deal. With this amazing human technology that we have right now, because a lot of our DNA has been shut down, it's lying dormant. We all have these powerful skills. I'll tell you about those. Okay. But right now, scientists talk about 12 strands of DNA. 2 of them are active. The rest of the strands of DNA are dormant. We unlock those by raising our own vibrational frequency into the higher frequencies of joy, of compassion. If you find your joy again, what's going to happen is you're going to start unlocking some more of your quantum skills, your skills of precognition, your skills of telepathy, even your skills of telekinesis. We've all got these really cool Jedi skills, and we've got important roles to play as we are here tasked with the shift, the change, changing from the old ways of being into the new ways of being, of higher vibrational frequency, of higher consciousness. And we're doing that through our own microcosm, through our own lives. All right. So first you got to wake up to yourself and change yourself. Then you change your life and you help and assist in changing the planet. All right. So that's what your soul is doing here. Figuring out exactly what your mission looks like is something that the Akashic Records can help with. All right. So you're noticing here that I am sharing some questions that you can ask the Akashic Records. These are the kind of questions you can ask. And if you don't mind so much, let's see if we can get some more of our friends here to join us. So I am going to share this out. All right. So we can get some lively questions up in here. Dupree already asking the questions. Is the Akashic Records more for spiritual questions? You can ask spiritual questions. You can ask very grounded, down to earth questions. I'll put them back up here so we can see them. Navigating crossroads, for example, that's a very pragmatic question if you are at a place in your life where you don't know what the best choice is, right? Also, how can I use my gifts to create a fulfilling and impactful career? Very pragmatic questions. Okay. So, yes, this is for spiritual guidance, although I like to break it down and make everything very practical. Because it's once we find the practicality, we find what next steps to take, that we begin to embody the wisdom. All right. So, what I want to invite you all to do is ask the questions. I am here to serve today, to share with you, to show you, to give you a demo of how this works. Oops, excuse me, Yeti. By the end of our conversation today, I will share with you, though, how you can do this too and give you some next steps if you want to train further in your Akashic Records. But the records help us with shadow work. Is that a word anybody is familiar with out there? Send some love likes hearts across the screen or some jazz hands. All right, if you are familiar with the concept of shadow work is looking at the parts of ourselves that we have disowned or shunned, or that we don't want ourselves or other people to see, but those aspects of our personality are acting out behind the scenes. And what I find is the Akashic Records, at least for me, makes shadow work really fun. Because y'all, I've got guides up there in the Akashic Records that are highly entertaining. They help give me a perspective of myself where I can laugh at the human condition and say, oh, of course I did that, which takes the shame out of it, which is fantastic. Dupree, can we ask a question about ourselves? This is new for me. I'm so glad you're here. Yes, and welcome. You can definitely ask questions about yourself too. You can ask questions about the state of humanity. What I will say is lean into your questions, everyone. Ask open-ended questions. Remember, this is the universal guidebook, the etheric library. Let's don't limit ourselves to yes or no questions. Okay? Asking open-ended questions. Also, if there's a place where you're experiencing challenge or you're struggling, what is my soul supposed to be learning from this is always a great question. All right. So while you guys are formulating some questions there, I'll share with you how I came to find the Akashic Records. I was an actress in Hollywood. I had moved to Hollywood from small town Missouri, so I hadn't grown up in, the experience of the city or the big lights. But I'm more than the Midwest girl who pulled the plug on life in Missouri and packed up and went to Hollywood. And I had a decent amount of success right away. I mean, it's really the quintessential story of the girl getting off the bus, from the Midwest. And I literally was in a shopping mall in Los Angeles when my first agent found me and started sending me out on auditions right away. And what I realized was that I sucked and I needed to train. So I started training not only in the best acting class that I could find in the city, I also started training my own subtle energy body in yoga, tai chi, qigong, and different meditation practices, which really helped me to get a grip on my own subtle energy. So I wasn't as nervous in the acting room, in the audition room. I could just be more embodied and more myself. And ultimately, the more I practiced these spiritual quantum things like Tai Chi, Qigong, and meditation, the more curious I was about like, what the heck is going on over here in the quantum field? And so for 20 years, I was just a ferocious self-studied student, like anything that I could get my hands on. I would absorb. I loved it. I also, in that process of my own self exploration, I always heard my own voice in the back of my head saying, "You can do this too. You can do this too." And then one day I was out gardening, and I think my kids were inside sleeping. My kids were little, and I didn't have an audition that day. And truly, guys, wow, that sounds like a bit of a nice life, doesn't it? I was freaking depressed. I felt like I was pulled between my home life and my career in Hollywood with little kids. And while I was getting a whole lot of jobs, I mean, there were big, like career making roles I was missing, like one after another, like the Avengers, Pearl Harbor. I should try to make a list. I can't tell you how many times I'm sitting watching Netflix or something with my kids, and they'll be watching an old movie and be like, "Yep, I auditioned for that. Auditioned for that one. That one was almost me, kids." So that began to really take a toll on my soul, and I was depressed. And the only time that I felt truly alive doing this work was when I was meditating or when I was um, in practice of some kind. So this particular afternoon, I'm out gardening. A neighbor comes limping by. I want to make sure that I can read records for you guys today. And sometimes I tell this story, the extended long version of the story. And if you've been around, you've probably heard it before. But the high level abridged version overview. Wait, I think I mixed too many metaphors there. High level overview meets the abridged version of what happened. He was obviously injured. He was out attempting to walk his dog and limping, obviously injured. I invited him over for some energy healing. I had no idea what I was going to do. I literally winged it, wanged it. I made it up as I went along. I improv'd it like a good actress would. And in that process of just being very present, releasing and letting go, I had an experience with his father who had passed, who brought through information, three really important specific pieces of information, all that were validated later by my friend. And that was so freaking mind-blowing for both of us that I went full woo at that point. I'll say my life shifted at that moment in time. I recognized that this work, what's happening, even though we can't see it, it is undeniable what is happening on the invisible realms. And the power that we have over the reality that we are creating individually and collectively is so much more than we realize. We have so much more freedom, so much more power than we realize. And this became the inspiration of my life. My it was like a crossroad for myself. My timeline shifted because I knew in that moment there was no story that I could be a part of in Hollywood that was nearly as inspiring as the story of human potential and what we can turn on within ourselves. And okay, after he went home after that, my circuits are blowing. I'm like, I gotta find a certification in something so I can hang a sign on my door and help people. And I didn't exactly know what it was at that point in time. Yeah, I was interested in everything. I loved mediumship. I loved meditation. I loved healing. I loved NLP practices, like all Reiki, like all of it was amazing and worked for me, which is why I ultimately landed on the Akashic Records because it's got everything. And all I needed to do was learn how to use it and rely on it in a moment's notice, and I would have access to any information or intelligence that I needed. And I began to use this to not only change my life, right? So there's the change yourself. And then I wanted to help others. Well, actually, I wanted to change my life with it. It's change yourself, change your life, change the planet. In that order. Thank you, David Levine, by the way, for illuminating this new construct in my field. So that was what like change my life looked like as I began to learn how to read the records, and I read my own records very comprehensively. Like, that's why. And not only did I understand, but I also began to heal those things, like trauma from my past, traumatic relationships, traumatic sexual encounters, trauma from my childhood, trauma from past lives. Like I began to understand all of it and also understand the lessons that were in it for me. So it no longer had a hold on me, right? That frees up a whole ton of energy. And then I wanted to create a way for other people to learn how to do this, right? So that's when I got certified to read the Akashic Records. But my upbringing, I was immersed in the Southern Baptist Church. My mom was a Sunday school teacher. I'm all up in that business, y'all. And I remembered from being a good little girl in Sunday school. Don't let me fool you. Don't let me fool you. That, I remember Yeshua said, give a man a fish, feed him for a day, teach a man to fish, feed him for a lifetime. So it made sense to teach other people how to do this. If everybody can do this anyway, why not just teach people how to do this? So I created a program to teach others how to dive in and read their Akashic Records so they can heal their own lives as well. All right. And I was on depression medication, diagnosed as depressed, anxious. Let's see, all of the ones that I was on. Zoloft wasn't the first one. I can't even remember all the names of them right now. Lexapro was one of the first way. And anybody who's been through that process, it's like a trial and error. So I went through the whole, and then trial and error of them, along with Xanax to calm my shit down. And once I learned how to read the Akashic Records and I went through the process of reading my own and clearing all that energy, I wasn't holding on to those undercurrent vibrational frequencies anymore. And I haven't taken any depression medication for decades at this point, or anxiety medication. And not to say that I don't ever get depressed. I do. I definitely notice my brain cycles. I just have more tools to understand and manage it now. All right, we're ready to ask some questions. Dupree, can I ask, what is my life purpose in this incarnation? Am I on the right path? Yes. All right, so I'm going to tap in here. The guides want to speak, first of all, to anybody who wants to know about life purpose, life mission. I'm going to speak generally about that. And then Dupree, I'll tap in and get some specific information that will come through for you. But the generals that we all need to know, because I get these questions all the time. And this is one of the areas that I love to lean in with people because it's really fun. And our mission isn't that complicated. So basically, the essence of who we are and whatever traumas that we've been through that we have triumphed over, that we have alchemized, right? That's what prepares us to show up and help other people. Those are our trials and tribulations. Okay. And the trials and tribulations that each of us go through are very specifically designed to help us on the road to our own greatness. That's why it's important to go back and dissect it and make sure you get the lessons from all that. Because if you just continue to take the hits one after another and you don't clear that trauma, you become very disempowered. So recognizing that the data is right in front of us in terms of how we're here, like what our soul is here to do. We just take a look at our life and say, all right, these are the things that I've triumphed over. Now, once you triumph over people, it's like you get an activation. You just carry that vibrational frequency where truly it doesn't matter what you do with it. You could put it in a book and write it in a book for people. You could make it into a workbook. You could get on stage and give a keynote talk. You could create a program. You could create a unique healing methodology. It doesn't matter. When we incarnate into the physical realm here on Earth, this is a very advanced school for the soul. Okay. Your soul is coming here to learn what it's like to have full anonymity. Sorry, not anonymity, full authority over what you create and what you experience. And that means we can put the essence of who we are in any creation that we want. Okay? Let me know if you're tracking so far. Send some love, likes, hearts across the screen if you're tracking so far. Okay? It's how we figure out what it is we're supposed to do, how we're supposed to help the rest of the planet. So for all of us, we're here to learn and grow about our own hidden patterns, our shadow patterns. I mean, duality holds the whole earth construct in place, north, south pole, day, night. So we're coming here to learn about our shadow. And then as we learn about our shadow and our traumas, and we alchemize these, we turn them from the pain into the gift. Like, what is the gift within the wound? We alchemize, and then we hold codes to help other people. So honestly, it doesn't matter. You can talk to people at Starbucks. Okay. And we all do have a unique way, a unique, perfect way that we can express that. That's where I take you back to childhood. And your child, your inner child, the younger version of yourself, will give you clues. Okay. So for me, when I was 4 years old, I was setting up all my rabbit and my Care Bear and my Cabbage Patch Kid. I had a Chubble. Oh, this is fun. I'm literally like flashing back to my bedroom and remembering all these stuffed animals that I had. One of my babies, her name was Megan. She was some special kind of cute. What other kind of animals did y'all have? Am I dating myself? Hopefully. Okay. So I set up all my little animals around and I start teaching them whatever, ABCs or whatever. Like I'm a teacher at my heart and soul. I was also loved space. The Halley's Comet came by. I got my little watcher from Pizza Hut. You know, then you put it together. My mom and dad helped me put it together, rubber bands inside. You guys remember this? All right. So super interested in the cosmos. I played entrepreneur. I took orders for paintings. And then I would, after I took the order and wrote it all down, I'd head back to my studio and I'd paint it up and then I'd come back up and I'd fake call your ass back and let you know to come pick it up. Okay. All right. So your inner child or the younger version of you will help you figure out what your natural curiosities are. Okay, so back to you, Dupree. Let me tap in and see what's going to come up for you. Yeah, the guides are saying that you're a natural teacher as well. Okay, a lot of us are ascended masters coming back. I know it seems kind of funny, and it makes me laugh too. And they are saying that. Maybe we are. Here's the invitation. If we are ascended masters coming back, what does that mean? What does that mean for you? Right? So the guides want to bring in an activation of remembrance. It is possible for us to ascend in this lifetime. And what does that mean? It means that we reach our potential in all four of our bodies: our physical body, our mental body, our emotional body, our spiritual bodies. And previously, we've incarnated and worked on maybe just one of those bodies over the course of a lifetime. In this lifetime, we have the opportunity to ascend in all four of those bodies. So, Dupree, what the guides are saying is that you have within you very simple methodology that reveal the map to ascension in all four bodies. Yeah, let me know how that resonates. Cool. All right, so the guides say again, that activation that we did there was bringing an activation of remembrance, of our mastery. And guides are bringing this energy in through the heart chakra. So just imagine your heart opening. You might want to tap on your heart to bring awareness there. Breathe in through your heart. Good. Hold at the top of the breath. This is 0 point energy, 0 resistance. Relax the shoulders. Good. Nice. So exhale. Good job. Dupree says, not sure what you mean. All right. I'm going to, what the guides are saying is sit with it, tuck it in your back pocket, allow it to unfold. And if the guides have more to say about it, I will come back to it again. But hold it in your heart. Okay. All right. Shelly Raw Elements. I taught shampoo bottles how to flip. I've coached springboard diving and gymnastics in my adult life. Right on. Okay. So flipping the script is, thank you so much, Shelly Raw Elements. Flipping the script is a great secret code that I have been noticing lately around how we can look at so many things in our life differently. So if there's any place in your life where you're stuck, ask your guides, go into a state of meditation and ask your guides, okay, show me, if I were to flip the script here, show me what it looks like then. And just use that coding. Okay, the key code, flip the script and see what comes into your field. I'm noticing it on so many causal planes, although I'll share a really cool one with you guys that actually I wanted to try this out. Okay. Synchronized breathing. Anybody do synchronized breathing with me? Catch the videos during the week for synchronized breathing. Follow along on social media if you don't, because I'll do real time, take a little time out and breathe with me. And normally when I'm doing the breathing, it's like breathing in the joy or whatever we want more of, right? And then exhaling what we don't want. Makes perfect sense. And then I got the invitation for the flip script. All right. So what do you all think of this? Okay. We talked a lot about alchemy today and how we alchemize things through our own experience. Alchemizing or alchemy is the process of taking an energy from its corruptible state into stability. Okay. Lead into gold. A dense version into a lighter version. It's a transmutation. Okay. And we're using our bodies, our awareness, our ancestry, to have a real physical experience alchemizing every day. So we come to this planet to be magicians, to alchemize. And here's the cool thing. Your body, your human technology is already set up to do this for you. Do you realize every time you eat, within 20 minutes, whatever it is that you eat becomes a part of you? It breaks down and it becomes a part of you. This is the process of alchemy happening. Your body will alchemize your experiences. Okay. So if our body can naturally alchemize experiences and our heart intelligence, oh yeah, the heart intelligence, that's some wicked stuff, wickedly good. Okay. Your darkest shadow is no match for your heart intelligence. So what if we flip the script like this? What if we breathed in to our heart fear? What makes us afraid? And we allowed our heart to do what it naturally does and alchemize the fear and turn the fear into its opposite. The opposite of fear is potential. Fear and potential are the same energies exercised in opposite directions. So anybody have things that you're afraid of in your life? Stuff that gets you, tenses up your nervous system. Any place where we're in lack, where we're in limitation. You guys want to practice it? You guys want to try it? I'm really excited to try it. Okay. I'm going to do it with lack and limitation and then breathing out abundance. So find some opposites. Shelly's going to give it a try. Cool. I'm already getting freaking dizzy. Getting dizzy playing up in here, y'all. All right. Let me know what you're going to alchemize. So you want to find the opposites. What is that noise? I heard a cat. I do have a cat, but hopefully she's not outside. I don't think she's outside. All right, we're good. All right, so we're going to exhale all the air out of our lungs. Breathe in through your nose. Whatever it is that you're resisting, breathe it in right now. Breathe in the lack and limitation. Breathe it into the heart. Allow your heart intelligence to do what it does naturally and alchemize that for you. Good. Exhaling. Blowing out the opposite, abundance, prosperity. I'm breathing for all of y'all. Deep breath in. Breathe it right on into the heart, the fear, the lack, the limitation, anywhere you're holding yourself back. Pause at the top, 0 point energy is where the alchemization is happening. Good. Exhale. Breathe out. Abundance. Prosperity. Cool. That was cool. What did you think? I want to do another one. I want to do what breathing in what we're enslaved to, and then exhaling our freedom. Which, by the way, here's what to expect next after doing this kind of quantum work. Your mind is going to shift first. Your mind is the first thing to shift. Okay, mind follows the breath. So your mind is going to be the first thing to shift, and you're going to start looking at things differently. Okay? Notice things differently. I was going to say, don't expect your outer world to change instantly. It can change instantly. But here's the deal with vibrational frequency is thoughts are a very fast, fine vibrational frequency. Normally, when people talk about having moments where like everything heals, everything changes in a second, in a moment's notice, it's true in the mental plane. Because those are the finest, the fastest vibrational frequencies. Because they don't have a lot of density, they shift real damn easy. Whoop. Here's the other thing, though, is that they don't sustain. Have you ever noticed you left church or you left the place like this where someone getting you all pumped up, or you left your last psychic healing session, your ass all pumped up and excited, and then within days, gravity is fierce. You get pulled back down. That's because you've only had the activation in the mental field. And I mean, I'm not going to say that we don't feel it happening in our body and our emotions. It's just not fully integrated into our lives instantaneously, because our lives, like we're living lives here on a third dimensional plane of existence. So what that means is that we have physicality, shape, and form, which makes this look very solid. It's not actually solid, but the perception, the Maya, the illusion, the cool construct, that's great. Would you ever hear the Matrix called cool? No, but seriously, this construct is a really cool place to come and learn, because we don't experience our physical bodies or the physical world in the same way in all the different places in the cosmos. Right? Okay, let me draw back in, because I just what were we talking about? Okay, I was talking about the density of reality. We are going to do one more breath transmutation from slavery to freedom. Anyway, all right, I guess we'll just go back to the breath practice, because I can't remember what that monologue was about. They pulled the plug up there on that. Whatever channel that was that I was picking up in the Akashic Records. It cut off. So if any of you were into that and you're like, no, go back to that channel, just remind me of what it was, and then I can tune back into it. Otherwise, we're going to go on. Can you clear things in the Akashic Records and see results in the material? Oh, yeah, that's what we were talking about. Seeing things. Thank you. Okay. So, in seeing things in the material. Yes. So, in the physical, oh, that's what I was saying. The dense reality, like it looks solid. That's because it's vibrating so slowly. This is from the 33rd Mayan timekeeper of the Mayan lineage, y'all. It's pretty cool. I like having this. All right. But the density of a 3D reality means the molecules are vibrating really slow, which make this look solid. And the cool thing is that even though we want reality to manifest really quickly, since we're coming here to learn, and a bunch of us have a bunch of effed up thoughts still. And if our thoughts manifested into reality instantly, then we wouldn't have time to for that lag, to see it, to understand it, to shift it and change it. Right. So the fact that we have a little extra time to get our heads together before things manifest into the reality is actually a good thing for us. Okay. But yes, things can shift instantaneously. The finer the frequency, the faster things can shift and change. So the Akashic Records, that's like the mind of God. So that's even a higher vibrational frequency than the human thoughts. That shifts instantly, very fast. And sometimes we will see things instantly shift here in the physical world. And it confuses the F out of everybody when it happens, because it creates a Mandela effect. Nelson Mandela effect. The Mandela effect is named after Nelson Mandela. Those of you who know sacred geometry, you also know about mandalas. And sometimes my brain confuses the two. But then I just remember through Nelson. It's the Mandela effect. And that's where humanity has a split timeline in terms of what they remember. Okay, Kit Kat, look up more about that. I'm not going to derail too much into that. It's pretty cool, but I'm not going to derail too much into it. All right, but when things do shift instantly in the higher frequencies, the finer frequencies, and we see that instantaneously here on the physical reality, it generally is a Mandela effect. All right, I want to share something cool with y'all real fast. I got a present for you today. This is a cool PDF that you can download, okay, that will teach you how to open a vortex of positive energy in your own home. The benefits of doing this are you're going to notice that your thoughts are more positive. They're vibrating lighter. You've got more joy coming in. You've got more clarity to see your own shadow, to see your patterns, to take responsibility for them. Okay, so I recommend everybody on the show and on the planet download this. It is a beautiful PDF step-by-step guide on how you set up a vortex in your own home, including the materials you'll need, which are very few, and the intentions. Results that people get from this are calmness in families. When people are in family challenge and they're coming to me and they're like, Emily, oh, I need something fast. I'm like, here, do this. They call me and they're like, oh, there's so much peace that worked. All right. You can also program your vortex to bring into your environment anything that's going to be supportive to you. Okay. All right. Let's dive in and get some more questions here. Dupree, heck, I'm glad you're here today. You're the one asking me some questions. Shelly, thank you for asking me some questions too. Ask me some more questions, y'all. All right. Dupree, I always feel like I get instant karma. Is there such a thing? Yeah. Okay. So this is going to go back to like them talking about you as an ascended master, and that you have the ability to find methodology to ascend in all four of the bodies: mental body, emotional body, physical body, light body. What that means is basically we're alchemizing really quickly. So we talk about moving our traumas through quickly. So if there's a trauma that any one of us have had since we were children, and we're anywhere from 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years old, we've been holding that for decades. That is not instant transmutation of our karma. That's holding the shit for decades. And that's how most of humanity has been processing our trauma, our grief over the past generations. Okay. That's not how I process it anymore. Something hurts my feelings. I deal with it right then and there, or to the best of my ability. And the faster that we can get moving through our own process of alchemizing or going from trigger back into a state of peace or state of stability, the higher levels of self-mastery we have. We're working with the finer and finer frequencies. Okay. So when we get to this place where we can begin to see instant cause and result, cause and effect, I'll say, that means that a whole lot of our life is vibrating to the finer frequencies. It's not taking us decades or years to figure it out. Okay, karma in my sacred classroom is an unlearned lesson. And yeah, if we can see the areas where we are acting out of congruence with our divinity, and anytime we're having a conflict or something's not going right in your life, y'all, there is some place. Yes, another person is playing it out with you, but there's some place for you, for me, that we're not in alignment with our divinity. So the faster we see that and we move back into, we course correct and move back into our state of power, our state of divinity, we do start experiencing faster and faster manifestation, faster and faster realization of our karma and our dharma for that matter. Okay. Good stuff. All right. The guides want to bring in, where am I tuning before it go? Here it is. It's behind me. Bring in a frequency of joy, which is that, again, finding our joy, getting our joy back. This is where the higher vibrational frequencies come from, where everything will unlock itself for you. You will be led, divinely led to the right conferences, the right workshops, the right lives to come into. Opportunities will open up. You'll be asked to come here, join this, come check this out. And your heart, your soul will say yes. Okay. All right. So who wants to bring the frequency for more joy? We're going to bring this in through the crown chakra. I'm going to weave it all the way down through the third eye, the fourth eye, the throat, the ascended heart, the solar plexus, the sacral, the root, spiraling down out to your feet, moving through Earth Star chakra below your feet. Radiate joy every direction. Let your body become a tuning fork for joy, everyone. Radiate it all directions, right on. All right. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me here today. All right, I promised you that at the end of the show, I would show you how you can learn to do this too. So here's what I'll do. Actually, let me share my screen. Screen share. All right, well, that was easy enough. Okay, let me scroll back up here to the top. All right. So this is the training program, Learn to Read Your Akashic Records, designed to help you awaken your ability to shift reality. Okay, you will learn a process that will teach you how to personally heal yourself of emotional and physical disease, identify and clear oppressive belief systems, experience deep and transformative self-love, clear ancestral energy patterns no longer serving you or the collective, understand your life mission, open up access to your highest potential, access your quantum healing abilities, and unlock new energetic skills. Okay? For those of you who want to sign up, I'll just show you. The investment is $1,497 if you pay in full, or a payment plan of $444. I'm going to copy that link so y'all can check it out. Let me go back over here. for those of you who want to know more just about what the training looks like. And then I have a link for a free call for those of you who have questions about if this is the right next step for you. Okay. But check out the link first so you at least can take a look at what the training involves. Okay. And then you can hop on a call with me if you'd like to, and we can talk about it some more. I also just reopened the doors of my masterclass, which means the self-study training is what I just flashed up there on the screen for you all. That is accessible through our website, and you have the opportunity to email questions. Of course, we always have questions anytime we're studying things, so you can definitely ask questions. And for those of you who like to train in a sacred united classroom, we do open up the Akashic Records together, which is profound. We receive transmissions, channeling and activations together in that space. And then every person who's in that class gets individual time to share and also get readings from the Akashic Records. So it is an awesome place to be if you feel like that is a place where your soul needs to be to learn and grow. It is the masterclass is by invitation only. So you will want to book a call with me, and I will take you through the initiation process, the initiation interview. All right. And let me scroll back to, I'll just put it up on the screen one more time for you guys. I will, after I finish the live broadcast, I will put all of these comments in the links in the description as well so that you can find them. And just remember, everybody, this one is the free gift. Open up the vortex. That's going to be the PDF that will help you open a powerful vortex of energy in your own space. Dupree, thank you for being here. Regina, it was good to see you. Shelly Raw Elements, bless you and your business and what you are creating here on the planet. Which, by the way, feel free to, put a link to whatever you got going on in there, Shelly, if you've got products and stuff you want us to check out. Anybody else, by the way, who I love supporting our light workers and entrepreneurs. So if you have things that you want us to check out, put it in there. All right. I hope I gave a shout out to everybody who gave me a shout out today. I love you guys. If this has been valuable to you, I encourage you, share this out. The intelligence that dropped in will impact somebody in your life. All right. Until next week, guys, take care. Namaste. I used to end every video like that, but it's been a while. All right.
I decided to go to Shasta, and the whole retreat was amazing. I love Shasta. After that week, I was blown away. I signed up for to work with Emily for a whole year. My business has streamlined in a way that it has just shot, not even forward, everywhere. I've only been working with Emily for 3 months, and I'd say that everything has shifted. So it's been amazing.